Hello, prophets, and welcome to a Monday night episode of Technical Analysis by the Crypto Prophet. Let's dive right into the charts right here and check it out. We smacked up into this 200-day moving average. Talking about it yesterday. We want to get above this puppy, and that'll really propel us. That's a big sign of resistance here. The other level of resistance after we get up through here is going to be obviously this level right here. About 50. Actually, we can make a within this box right here. So we're coming up to it now. We've got this double whammy of this resistance right here, especially up here at the 51,000 to 52,000 range, really the 51 right here. So as we're coming up, we've got the 200 to contend with, and then we can make it up into here. Then we've got this 51 to contend with. If we can get above this, then we are golden, sailing up, probably new all-time highs. We'll have to see, because what we have coming into play here now is this 3-day 200 moving average. So right here, the orange one here. Now, we are way above it, obviously, as you can see. But what we don't want to have happen is repeat like in 2018 when we did come up and we saw some higher highs, but then we dropped below this 200. And then after that, it was boom down. So we want to keep an eye on that. But looking very bullish for Bitcoin right now. As you can see here, we launched out of the golden pocket right here, 618. Launched up and out, and we're heading up to the higher. The next level is here at the 49,000 mark, but not a lot of resistance coming up through here, right? So we kind of zoomed up through this, obviously here, not a lot of trading volume. Now we're at where there's a lot of trading volume. We could most very likely kind of trade sideways here for a bit based on this level of volume. Now the problem is this right here, that low amount of volume down there. Right here, low amount of volume. So that is a concern, especially when we get in. So on the daily chart, very much a concern. As you can see here, our target for this wedge is up at 52. Now we've got other wedges in play here too, which shows us 56, but that's about as high as the target's going to be. And of course, sometimes with these massive moves up, we do make it up to the higher targets, the highest ones that we shoot for. Most of the time not. Now look at this chart here. We said back in the beginning of this year that this was a great target for us. Now we were over here, we wanted to make our way up here. Obviously we've been going sideways in this wedge. We've had the breakout. So what we want to do is we want to get up to this golden pocket right here is a great level. That's 58,000, 58 to 59. Right here would be perfect. We can make our way up to there. That looks actually like our highest possible target that we could go to, that we could use this as support, this level here, and bounce off. Now we could easily come back and test the top of this wedge. Looking very keenly at 44 to 45,000 to enter longs again down here at this level, retesting this top as support. There's previously resistance here, we've broken through it. We want to test it as support and make our way up. Now again, stepping up along the way. We could even come back down. Heck, this wedge is so long that we are coming way up into April and May, the end of April, beginning of May, before we might be able to make it up to this 54, 55,000 mark, and eventually up here to 58, where very likely that we make our way back down May, June, because we're going to run out of steam, and this kind of coincides with what's happened in the past with Bitcoin in its history. So again, looking very bullish though. Broke out of this chart, we're consolidating down, getting squeezed, boom, push to the upside. Now let's take a look at this weekly chart, and we can see how we have very little volume, which is concerning for Bitcoin as we're coming in. The important things here I wanted to look at were these EMA ribbons. As you can see, this yellow line, which is the top of the EMA ribbons, has started to flip over. Now when these ribbons flip over, it can be very, very bearish for a market. Now, it looks like the yellow is starting to come back up. You can't quite get behind this weekly bar here to see, but it's coming back up, so hopefully this is just kind of a fake flip. Because if we want to go back in history, okay, you guys, let's go back in history and look at when it flipped. I mean, we got squeezed down here, but we bounced up and bounced up off the top of that. We want to use these EMAs as springboards to go to higher targets. which we could easily do here. It's just it started to flip. Okay, so let's review the last time it started to flip here. And we're going to do this on the Dow as well. Very important, very important. Last time that this flipped over, we went down. And we were down here for quite a while. We're going to measure these out for you guys. And then let's go 2 previous times we flipped. Here and we went down. So here we go. Let's measure it out. From the start of the flip, as we started flipping, we didn't get back above it for 336 days. That's almost a year. That's almost a year. Now we went down in a total of 63% down. Okay, 1 year, 63% down. Let's check out the next one. We flip. This is what we're looking at, flipping the weekly EMA ribbons on the chart as soon as we start to flip. This one happened pretty quick. This was the kind of the black swan event, as the Americans call it. But we are coming in. We came down total of 53%. We got back up very, very quickly though. Only 56 days. So if we're taking this one into consideration, almost a year, 63%. Let's go back and find another one besides the coronavirus stuff. Let's see if we've flipped in the past before. Getting this far back in time on Bitcoin is kind of, it loses some of its relevance, you see. So with that in mind, let's just kind of take a look back at what's happening again, and what would happen if we flipped on the EMA ribbons, even though right now it looks like they're trying to flip back. There we go. There we go. Here we go. Now, let's just kind of say, let's cut that in half. We went 335 days. Let's say we're going to go, just say 200 days and 50% down when it started flipping. So that was back here at the end of January. So let's see. Let's do 50% down, just to kind of do a little bit less than what that previous time was, and to consider the last coronavirus dip, which was more of just an anomaly in the markets because of the pandemic. But let's go out. We said 200 days, which would put us at the middle of August, and we want to go down 50%. That would bring us down at our lowest 23.9, okay? And we wouldn't be flipping back and heading back up bullish until this time here. Let's hide that. So that all flashed right there, all those signs of support and resistance. Let me show you why they're here, why we have them here. Check out this 4-hour chart. As you can see here, what's just happened. Bitcoin is, we're breaking out of the top of this wedge. Now we've kind of meandered along this very important line of 44,000, of course. A lot of support and resistance here, shoot up through it. A lot of support and resistance here, spend a day here, shoot up again, up here into the webs. Now we've got a red candle on the 4-hour starting to pull back. Now what's possibly happening here is we can click back over to our RSIs. We can see we are in fact overbought on this. We need some retracement to come back down. Now, let's flash back to these weekly candles and say, well, this is looking pretty good because we've come down in before. This didn't start to flip. This already started to flip. We spent much more time underneath these ribbons, which makes them start to flip over, which was very bearish for Bitcoin. Let's check them out here on let's go to the weekly. What's happening here in the Dow Jones? Dow Jones is still king of the land, king of the world. We're starting to flip over. However, we did have some serious solid rallies. On Friday and today, we're starting to flip though. We're starting to flip. Let's look back and see the last time that happened. Possibly and potentially, yep, here during the coronavirus pandemic. Let's find one before that. We did have a flip back here in 2018 again. So we're spending a little bit of time. Now, Let's go back again and look at where we are. We're down below. We're spending a little bit of time, but we're shooting up a little bit sooner than 2018. Okay, we didn't quite go down as far. So, waiting to see how these play out. We're at the precipice here where with these weekly EMA ribbons where they could play a big part, because once it flips and we get below, we're down there for a considerable amount of time. Could be up to a year. However, conservative would be that we're coming back up out of it mid-August. Now, we are projecting that we will have, let's do a Fibonacci retracement here from the previous low last July up to the high. And again, getting resistance from 200 right here, but we're coming up to the 49, and again, expect that 49 to 50 and up to 52 is major resistance. Our target for this wedge was in fact 52. Some of them show 56. We've done some that show up to 58, but we've got this line of resistance and support, this line, which is now resistance, this line of resistance. So let's see what happens here. And we're still going up. We're still looking good. But when we hit 50, we're going to get resistance. When we get up to 52, we're going to get resistance. Look for some pullback. Even look back the next couple of days, pull back down to 44.5 or 45,000, and then look to enter some long trades there and shoot this baby up to that 50, 52 targets. And we'll see you soon. God bless you all.